So this is the part 2 video because my last one got canceled on me, and you guys all know that I don't edit. I don't really know how to edit, to be completely honest, and I'm, I guess, lazy, and I know that I could look up videos on how to. I just haven't. And I do like these videos, and I've kind of explained that, but yes. So I put him down. Usually I'll put him down for a nap around 1 o'clock, and then he'll be down for between 2 and 3 hours. Right now, that is just what his schedule is. That is the amount that he is sleeping. So he usually wakes up. You were such a freak. He just like put the grape in his mouth and squished grape juice out everywhere, making faces at me. What a freak. You're so silly. You're so silly. Oh, no thank you. Daniel can have it. Yeah, so he'll be down for 2 to 3 hours, then he'll get up between 3 and 4, and then when he gets up, we just play around and whatever until his dad comes home, and right now his dad's taken some courses, some schooling for his job, to make his job better. Don't gag on food. Oh, that's a big thing with him. I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, but when he was younger, this kid gagged on everything. Anything that had texture when we were trying solid foods, he would gag on it. Like, it was terrible. Or if he didn't like the taste of it, he would just gag on it. There were so many times where I was like literally projectile vomited on because he would eat something that had texture because he likes the flavor, but for some reason the texture just would make him gag. And yeah, so I was projectile vomited on lots and cleaned up puke a lot in the beginning. Just like he would keep eating after. Like, it's not like he was sick, you know? And I'd stop feeding him, obviously, the things that would make him gag or whatever, but it was just, it was almost everything new he would try. He would gag for the first little while of eating it, right? I think he's almost done eating. But yeah, so anyways, and then we'll play around from 3 or 4 until his dad gets home. Like I said, his dad's in courses, so he's usually home by 5:30, and then I start cooking supper around 4 and have supper ready for between 5 and 5:30, which is when he eats supper. And then when he eats, what do we do? If his dad's home, his dad will, bathe him, play with him, and take over from there, and then I'm officially off work. And that's pretty much how our schedule goes every day now. I know one thing that was really hard for me that I wanted to address in this video is cooking for babies, what to feed babies, different things to give your baby to eat at certain ages. I struggled really hard with trying to figure out what to feed him when he started eating solid foods. After we'd really eaten a lot of charred baby food, or he had, sorry, not I. Well, I tried pretty much everything he had. Some I liked, some I really didn't like. But anyways, I was like, there's so many options of things to give him, and I just didn't know what to give him when he started eating, like what we could eat when he started getting teeth. So at first we started with like really soft things, things that were easily, mushy. I find like when he first started eating it was more difficult because there was less things that had to be mostly mushy. Soup worked really well. He did like soup, mashed potatoes, eggs, that kind of stuff. Soft fruits like peaches, nectarines, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, that kind of thing. He really liked those. What else did we do? Bread, but we would take all the crust off and not toast it so it was soft. The baby oatmeals again. Yogurts. Apple sauces, fruit sauces, which I've talked about. You can also buy like little baby, actually he has it on his plate, these little puff things. They're like little fruit rice puffs. You can get them in like all different flavors. And they're like little fruity puffs, but they literally like dissolve in your mouth so the baby can't choke on them. And when he didn't really have teeth, those were like my go-to snack, because if he started getting fussy or whatever, and there was like, either he didn't really eat a lot of breakfast and he wasn't really hungry, but then he started to get fussy, I'd turn to that and fruit, and those are awesome. I didn't really care if you threw them all over the place, honestly, because it's just like cereal. It's easy to clean up. And they come in all different flavors and different shapes, so those are really good. Little dissolving yogurt drops, those are good too. Yeah, that is the kind of stuff that I was feeding him before he ate solid food. And then when he started, or before he was eating, like, I guess everything that we eat now, pretty much. Like, he pretty much, just about done, buddy. Like, he pretty much eats, like, everything we do. So I'm going to try to multitask here, YouTube. I'm going to see how well this works. But I guess this is just, you know, this is really what it's like, you know, having a child and having to do these things and look after a baby. Like, things don't always go as you plan, and you have to be able to adjust your time, and you have to be able, I hate this lighting right now, you honestly have to be able to multitask, because being a woman, thank God, we can multitask, because for me, raising a child is pretty much all about multitasking. Like, you have to be able to do a few things at once and not completely lose your mind. But yeah, so now that he's eating pretty much everything that we eat, honestly, he'll try almost anything that we cook. Like, if I'm making something for supper, he will honestly eat just about anything I make, or try it at least. There's certain textures he doesn't handle so well. I find things like lettuce, that kind of like flat things, they tend to get like stuck, I guess, in the back of his throat, and he gags on that, of course, right? And so we've just noticed that he doesn't handle that kind of stuff well. Kid's just covered in peanut butter. And other than that, literally anything I make for supper, he will eat. But from the beginning, I do want to say though, like, I've learned what I'm going to do with my child a little bit by doing this. And what I've learned is that if you want your kid to not be picky, feed them things in the beginning. Don't be afraid of flavor and spices. I would hold back maybe on, like, you know, spice, like chili or, you know, that kind of thing. But honestly, we've fed him pretty much anything from the beginning when he was able to, you know, obviously to eat solid foods. Every food we ate, we would let him try it, even, you know, just the taste it, so he could just taste it, even if he didn't, you know, eat a whole piece of it, let's say. He would just try it, and this kid will eat anything, pretty much anything you put in front of him, unless he is just not hungry. He's not picky, which is awesome, and that makes it really easy for me, because, you know, if I'm eating one thing for lunch, I can totally give him the same thing for lunch, or if I'm making something for dinner, he could totally have it with me, and the leftovers the next day. So that makes life really easy. So that's kind of my advice for, you know, weaning and feeding solid food and getting your baby to try new foods is honestly just don't be afraid, because babies don't like flavor. Like, I honestly put salt and pepper in like everything he ate, and even baby food, me and his dad would both add spices to it or add salt and pepper, because there was just like, it was so bland, because baby food doesn't need to be bland. Like, I think that's a huge misconception. I think people think that baby food needs to be plain, like it needs to be just the pureed vegetables, nothing else, you know, no butter, no salt and pepper, no olive oil, whatever. And I think that's totally untrue. And from what I've read online and from what I've seen on TV, it is completely untrue. Babies can have spice and they can enjoy flavors. And I think that right now it's great that we can, you know, him being 18 months old, and honestly, like, he's tried sushi. Like, he likes sushi. We know he doesn't have allergies. I'm just going to put that out there. He's tried sushi. Like, he's tried every vegetable pretty much. I'm a vegetarian, and I cook a lot with just vegetarian, you know, meals pretty much only. And he will eat every vegetable, like I said, every fruit, and he likes chicken, ham, turkey, beef. He does like meat too, but he will eat just vegetables. Like, you don't have to limit your baby's food palette. So that was really cool to learn, and it's fun to see him try new things and whatever. So that's really cool. Oh, he tried pomegranate for the first time the other day. And he loves pomegranate, so every time I pull out a pomegranate, he's like, oh, and he follows me around for it. So yeah, so that's basically our routine, and that's just kind of what I wanted to share with you guys, along with just talking about, you know, foods that we eat. And I'll see if I can come down and get Daniel to come say goodbye to you guys. Oh, it's terrible lighting. I'm just coming to him. Come here. What are you eating? Come here. Who's that? Can you blow them a kiss? Thank you. Okay, YouTube. It would be awesome if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe. I'm still planning on doing that video about my depression and anxiety, but I'm nervous about doing it because I'm not quite sure yet what I want to say. But yeah, it would be awesome if you guys, like I said, could leave me some comments or something below, some feedback. I want to do a Q&A. Leave me some questions. That would be freaking sweet. Yeah, so I will hopefully see you guys soon. Bye, YouTube.